welcome to Nava Yoga. My name's Kat and it's great to have you along with me today. So today's video is, well, it's designed for runners who've done a long run, but anyone who's perhaps had a long walk or been doing a lot of work with their legs, who knows they just need to give it a little bit of a gentle stretch. Very welcome to join in with this one too. So because we're looking at someone, the idea is that we've been for a long run, whether that's 3 miles, 5 miles, 10 miles, 50 miles, whatever it is that a long run is for you. We know our legs are tired, so the last thing we need to do is put a lot of strength or effort into what we're doing. This is an idea just to chill the legs out and give them a nice, easy, gentle stretch. So bearing that in mind, if you do find you want a bit of a prop or you need some support, feel free to use a cushion, a block. I've got a yoga strap here, but anything, a belt, a tea towel, anything like that perhaps you can just hold on to the legs with, it can be useful. And also just bear in mind to listen to the body. I always say that anyway, you should always do that anyway, but if the stretch feels too tough, then just back on out of it and maybe ease back in again, just making it a little bit easier next time so that you're allowing the body time to recover in the stretch rather than sort of trying to push it into some really good long deep stretches. Okay, so with that, I'm assuming that you've either come back from your run very recently, or maybe you've come back from the run and you've had a shower and some food, but the body's still kind of feeling reasonably warmed up. If you are feeling very cold and you feel that just perhaps doing very gentle or movement-based bit of work first is useful, then I can put a link to something like that in below, and feel very free to just do your own few little bits of warm-up before you start if you know you need to loosen off. But we are going to just ease the body in before we hold any super stretches anyway. Okay, so we're going to come round onto your hands and knees. Bring the knees under the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to take a little bit of movement with the spine, come into cat stretch. So as you exhale, round up through the back, drop the head. Inhale, press the chest forwards, roll the shoulders back. So just moving through the spine. And we quite often forget that even though we are running, and obviously we know that our legs take perhaps a little bit of a battering while we're out there, the spine can get quite a lot of impact running up through it too. So giving the spine a little stretch out can also make you feel a little bit better and help with that recovery. So we're going to go for one more exhale round. Inhale, arch. And then come back into the middle. I'm just going to come round onto our backs for a minute. We aren't going to stay here too long yet. So round onto your back, keep both knees bent, and we're just going to take hold of the back of the right knee. Squeeze the right knee up in towards you, and try and pull, but as if you're trying to pull the knee out from that hip socket, and try and keep that little bit of tension running through the leg as you draw some circles with the right leg. So what we're trying to do is take a little bit of the impact out of that hip joint, using a little bit of traction against the bone or with the bone to open the hip joint up, and then circle back the other way. And then take the right foot down. Bring the left knee up, same thing, firm grip around underneath the thigh, pull up through the bones in the right top of the left leg, and then see if you can draw those little circles. So it doesn't matter how big the circles are, just making them as big or as small as you feel they need to be, and then circle back the other way. And if you lose the traction from it, doesn't matter, we're still just moving around that hip joint, and the movement in the hip joint, just think of oiling that hip joint can be as beneficial as that idea of traction. Then bring the right knee up to join it, hook underneath both knees, So either holding over the hands or maybe just seeing if you can hook around onto the elbows. Squeeze the knees in towards you. And then let it go. So breathe out, squeeze. So we've got that same idea now. Trying to pull and stretch out the bones in the lower back. So really squeezing the knees in. You can hold it here if you want, or just keep squeezing and releasing. And then we'll let the feet come all the way down to the floor. And we're going to take same thing through with the neck. So just supporting the back of the head with the hands. Exhale, roll your chin up to your chest. Curling the vertebrae up. And then hold it there. And then let it go. So again, moving 2 or 3 times up and down with the spine. It's not a crunch, it is just a stretch of the neck, trying to open the vertebrae out. Or if you prefer, just hold here. And then release it. Let it go. Roll around onto your left hand side. Push yourself all the way up. I'm going to come round onto your knees. So I'm going to stretch a little bit with the feet. So just tuck the toes under. See if you can let your weight just sink back on with the heels on, or the hips onto the heels. Start to walk the hands in if that feels okay. Now if your feet are really sore, just keep the weight through the hands. They don't have to lift up. But if you feel you can take your feet up, and quite often the feet can get quite crampy, so if you need to come out of it, just come out of it. Try and bring your hands together. And have one more big breath in and out, fill the belly. And then let it go. And then stretch across the top of the feet and into the tops of the ankles. So the hips are going to come all the way down to the heels. So hold the hands back behind you and see if you can lift the knees up off the floor. This can be a really strong one, so again, drop out of it if it gets too much. Just see if you can hold it just for a couple of breaths. Fab, and then release it. Come up onto your knees and take the right foot out in front. Exhale, rock onto the right foot. So just keeping the knee over the ankle. We don't want to strain our knees any more than we absolutely need to. And then hands just behind that knee joint. We're going to just lift the chest up a little bit if we can. Sink the hips down. Stretch out through the quad muscle and the hip flexor on the left side. So if you find it's just a little bit too much, just back out of it. And then release back down. Take a couple of big breaths in, send the breath down into those sore, tight muscles. And then push back with the right foot. Swap the legs over, take the left leg out in front, and we're going to exhale, plant the left knee over the left ankle. Hold here. Remember, ease off out of it if you need to, and just try and breathe down into the belly. Yeah, you know, it's a good thing to do. We've been working hard with the lungs. Keep that feeling of opening through the belly, opening through the chest. The diaphragm itself can get work, so slowing the breathing down. Relax the whole system of breath as well, cardiovascular system. And then come back, and we're going to try our downward facing dog. So hands then in front of you, tuck the toes under, breathe out, lift the hips up. Excuse me. So maybe you need to just wiggle the legs around here. Perhaps the heels don't come down, you need to keep a little bend in the knees. Do what you can. And if that is way too much for today, just find a surface, a shelf, a table, the back of a chair, holding onto that. Walking the feet away and just allow the body to drop forward so you can get a stretch through the calves into the tops of the legs, but you can also just start to stretch out through the spine. One more breath here. And then from wherever you are, just bring yourself back down towards the floor. And we're going to come round onto the back again. So we're doing really well here just to ease out those tired muscles. So we're going to stretch through the hamstrings, the back and the hips a little bit. So to start with, bring the right leg up, hold around the back of the right leg and see if you can start to just straighten up with the toes, with the foot. So again, if it's, if your legs are all the way down here and you can't hold on, find something that you can just support the foot with, and it could be there, it could be there. Maybe you're feeling fairly open and you can start to bring the foot in a little bit closer. If the knee doesn't totally straighten, it doesn't matter. If you can feel that stretch in the back of the leg, we're doing okay. So one more breath here. And we're going to let that go. Bend the left knee if it has straightened out across the mat. And we're going to come into our figure four stretch. So just watch the ankle. We want to put the foot on just at the bottom of the shin, just coming over onto the left thigh. And as you exhale, open the knee out first. So just opening through the front of the hip. Maybe feeling a little bit of a stretch into the back as well. And exhale, bring the left knee up. See if you can hold around the back of the left knee so we can work into the back of those right glute muscles. Again, if it just is too hard to reach round and support the leg, hold on with a strap there and just see if you can keep the leg lifted that way. If you're getting your stretch into those right glutes, we're doing fab. Finish here, take the feet back down or the left foot towards the floor. See if you can just cross the legs over. So the thighs come nice and tight. Take the arms out to the side. And we're going to breathe out, roll the knees to the left. If that gets too much for the lower back, just uncross the legs. Roll the knees to the left there. So continuing to work with that IT band, the hips, but it also comes all the way up through the spine then. Stretching the back out. And then breathing, come back into the middle. And we're going to swap sides. So you grab the little support for the hamstrings with the towel, the strap, the belt, whatever you want to use. If you need it, take the hands around the back of the left leg. Breathe out, stretch the left leg up. So remember, again, you've always got those options of just releasing those stretches out if you need to. We don't have to be here forever. Holding on. We want to think about allowing the muscles to recover, not forcing them in to go somewhere they don't want to go. And then bend the left knee. So again, bottom of the shin, just resting on the right thigh. We're not twisting the foot or the ankle. Breathe out, open the left knee to the side. And then see if you can bring the right knee up in towards you into that figure four stretch, a reclined pitching pose. So work into the back of the left glutes. Use your little support around the right thigh if you need it. And feel free to close the eyes. You don't have to work with the eyes open. One more breath here. Feel the breath expand the belly and the chest. And then release the feet all the way down. Try and cross the legs. Again, option to release the cross if it's too much for the back. Breathe out, roll the knees to the right. And maybe the head's going to look to the left, so get a little stretch through the neck at the same time. Even our neck muscles have to work hard when we're running because without all the weight of supporting the head. And then come back into the middle and squeeze both knees up in towards your chest. You can hold over the shins or under the thighs. Now that's up to you. Just depends on what feels most comfortable for the knees. Tuck the chin in a little bit. Maybe take some rocks from side to side or draw little circles with the knees. Just release the back, massage it into the floor. One more big breath here. releasing the feet down. We're going to finish with a little bit of relaxation for the legs and for the body. And it's called Viparita Karate, or legs up against the wall. So to do this, we're just going to shift over, get our hips as close as we can up towards the wall, and then just let the legs rest up against the wall. Now, it might be that you can't straighten the knees, or maybe you actually need to shuffle a little bit further back. What we want to do is get the feet higher than the heart. Feel free to cushion underneath the head if you need it. So we're just going to stay here for a few breaths, or as long as you've got time for, or you would like. You can close your eyes, let your hands rest on your belly. We're just going to take 3 big breaths in here. All the blood, the lactic acid, that's formed during our run, just flowing back down the legs. It's a great way by doing this to freshen the legs, refresh the legs, even if you haven't been out running but you just spent a long time on your feet all day. It's a lovely position to go in at the end. So like I say, stay here for a little bit longer if you'd like to, or you've got the time to. Otherwise, we're just going to roll ourselves back down from the wall. And then find a comfortable position to sit in for a minute. So that could be kneeling, sitting on a cushion, or cross-legged. So breathe in, take a big stretch up with the arms. And then as you exhale, bring the hands down to your centre, bow your head to your fingers, and just thank yourself for the effort you've made going for that run today. For giving yourself the time to stretch the legs and recover. Namaste. Well, thank you for joining me, and well done on pushing yourself through that. I know sometimes when you've been for a long run, and sometimes been for a very long run, the last thing you want to do is spend time stretching, but hopefully you have told yourself that it is going to make you feel better tomorrow, or the day after, or even the day after that, and will help you get back out in your trainers again soon. So like the video if you liked it, leave a comment or question below if you've got anything you'd like to say, and subscribe to Anava Yoga to keep up to date with all of our videos, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.